I usually use these 3-minute videos to share with you an idea from the weekly Parsha, but I'd like to try something a little different this week. And that is, I'd like to share with you a halachic predicament that I've been thinking about, and one that affects our synagogue. We know that next month we have the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and then Sukkot. And on Sukkot, as you may have seen in the email, we shake the lulav and esrog, and as a synagogue, we sell the lulav and esrog in advance of the holiday. And there's something that's a little different about the lulav and esrog order this year. And that is that the esrogs we typically get from the land of Israel. But the esrogs are a fruit of the land of Israel. And this current year, which ends Rosh Hashanah, is what's known as a Shemitah year. The Torah tells us that every 7 years, the farmers in Israel are obligated to leave their field fallow, and the fruits that are grown during the year of Shemitah have additional restrictions and regulations with those fruit. The esrogs, which we'll be using next month, are grown this year. They bud, they're picked during the year of Shemitah, and they're going to be bound by the restrictions and regulations of something grown during the Shemitah year. Now, I was speaking to the esrog headquarters, where we order the esrogs from, and the gentleman there explained to me that there's an option this year to order esrogs from Morocco. The advantage of ordering esrogs from Morocco is that you avoid this entire question. You avoid any restrictions, any regulations. You keep things simple, and the esrogs are like every other year. This seemed like a good idea to me. Why order esrogs from Israel when we'll be bound by restrictions and regulations? I'll have to inform the congregation. You can't throw out your esrog after Sukkot. You have to do this. You have to do that. Maybe it would be easier to just order the esrogs from Morocco. I just got off the phone with one of my teachers, Rabbi Mordechai Willig, and he told me we should order the esrogs from Eretz Yisrael, from the land of Israel. He said, you know what happens if all the rabbis order from Morocco? The farmers in Israel suffer. We need to support the land of Israel. It's my job as the rabbi to educate, to teach people what to do with the esrogs afterwards. But this is an opportunity for us to connect to the land of Israel. I hope every year we order the lulav and esrog, but this year being a special year, and even though the esrogs are bound by additional regulations and stringencies, this should be a year that we go out of our way to order the lulav and esrog in order to support the farmers in Israel. You can see online, if you Google, there are many articles about how the farmers suffer during this year, how the regulations make it difficult. And part of the difficulty is when communities in America order their esrogs from Morocco instead of in Israel. I give you this Torah Torah with the Israeli flag behind me, as it is every week. We are a show that supports the land of Israel, and I hope as we order esrogs this year that we understand that we're supporting the land of Israel and have an opportunity to participate in this mitzvah.